Hi, everyone. Good afternoon and happy Thursday to you. You know, we're on Thursday already. The week is just flying by so quickly. Welcome to the online presence. How have you all been doing today? Let me know in the chat and let me know where you're coming in from. What part of the world are you coming in from? Are you here in the UK? Are you outside? We've had lots of people from different parts of the world, which is absolutely amazing. So it'll be great to know where you're coming from today. So my name is Carol Allen, and I'm your host for today. So I'll be taking you through the online presence. We're going to be talking about, the different types of things that you can do online in order to be able to have a great impact on your business. We're going to be looking at how you use a website as the first part of your marketing funnel in order for you to, have that online presence. So we're going to be looking at the different types of social media platforms, which one is going to suit you better in order to be able to develop and help your business to grow. So there's quite a lot that we're going to be looking at. So let me just go in here in the chat and just say hello to some people. So as I'm speaking, more of you are coming, which is great. So hello, Claire. Hello, Lizzie. Hello, Margaret, Mina, Neva. Nice to have you here. Paz, Simona, Tanya, V Sharma. Hello, V Sharma. You were on my last webinar. Great to see you here again. So let's just see where you're coming in from. Right. So Lizzie's from Seattle. It's 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Wow. You are an early bird, Lizzie. Nice to have you here. And thank you for waking up, to get this training because you're investing in yourself. So that's wonderful. So Claire's from the Scottish Highlands. Do you know, Claire, I was up in Edinburgh around 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was a most amazing experience. But I've not been to the Highlands, as in, the further kind of country type area of Scotland, but it's a beautiful place. So Mina is from the UK. What part of the UK are you from? Tanya is from the UK. The same question to you, Tanya. And Amit's from Birmingham, one of my favorite places. I think I'm heading up there on Saturday, Amit. Love the shopping, the Bullring, absolutely amazing. Neva is from Welwyn Garden City. Welcome to you today, Neva. And V Sharma, yes, great to see you as well. V, remind me of where you're from. I can't remember. I know you did say the other day, but I can't remember. Simona is from Milan in Italy. Is that where you're viewing this from today, Simona? Milan? That's a beautiful name, by the way. Um, yes, Lizzie, you've done very well to be getting up at 5:30 a.m. to be on a webinar. And I'm sure you're going to find it very, very, useful to be here. So Tanya's from Cambridge. I love Cambridge. Milton Keynes. I was there on Saturday, V. Bought myself a pair of shoes from Quiz. So Margaret's from Milton Keynes. Yes, I was there Saturday. So I do like Milton Keynes. It's just those roundabouts that you have to keep going over. So great to have you all here. And, it's wonderful that you're here today to invest this time in yourself. So let me know in the chat, where are you on your business journey? Are you at the pre-start level? Are you an established business looking to grow your business with social media and being online? Or are you at a place where you've just started over the last few months? So let me know in the chat. So it's all about the online presence. And who doesn't want to be online? I don't know, because I think everybody should be online, because online is where your potential ideal clients are. And, you know, you're going to hear me say that quite a lot today. You're also going to hear me talk about the get to know, like, and trust you factor, because those are the two key things that's really going to help you to build impact online. So there's going to be a lot that we're going to be covering today. So let's see where you are on your business journey. So Lizzie's saying about to launch in January 2024. Oh, Lizzie, that's going to be so exciting, isn't it? And Claire's saying new start, which was delayed last year due to family issues. Do you know, Claire, I always say that there's no time like the present, and it's always the right time when you start. Doesn't matter when, it's always the right time. Let me just pronounce this. Let me say this one slowly. So Uzazagaro. Did I say that right? So you're a beginner. Okay. Can I just call you, would you mind if I called you Uz for short? So Mina says pre-start, thank you. Neva says completed the business setup and ready to grow. Now that is good. So you're in a great position, Neva. So Lizzie says, I don't want to be online because I find it too toxic. Here in the US, at least it is. But I know that I must. Well, how should I help you with that, Lizzie? So, and it depends on what you want to do. So if you could all just let me know in the chat, what is your business idea? What do you want to do? What do you want to sell? Because we want to try and help Lizzie. I know that sometimes being online, you know, there's a lot that goes on that's not desirable to the ears or to the eyes. But you've got to go on there with a strategy. So when you're going on, have a reason to go on and have some tasks, some, you know, active tasks that you're going to carry out that is going to help you to build your business when you're going on. So that way you're going on with a strategy rather to consume content. There's a very big difference there. So Simona says, working mainly with referrals and meeting stroke networking with people in person. So referrals from where, Simona? What's the name? What do you sell? What's the business? So the online business takes so much time that I haven't developed it a lot. So what is the online business? Tanya says, not for profit, looking for free website. What do you mean, Tanya? What kind of business do you do? You said you're a not-for-profit. So what kind of business do you do? So Lizzie says consulting and planning for non-profit with a positive social impact. Right. So your potential ideal clients then, Lizzie, are definitely going to be online. If you're in the consulting field, what do you consult in? Can you hear my line of questioning? It's making you all have to think about digging a little bit deeper, because the more you go down, the more you drill down. So if you say consulting, now get a little bit more specific and let's go a bit further, a bit deeper. So, and that's the consulting in what? Because when you get specific, that's where you find it easier to target your ideal clients. So Claire says mental health and well-being, guidance, signposting, filling the cracks in mental health care. And I think that is a worthwhile cause, Claire. Margaret says new business started in the last few months. Need to get my old head around online presence and tap into that potential. There is a huge, huge, huge potential for it. Simona says, I'm a creative copywriter and communication skills trainer. Well, your ideal clients are all online, Simona. And if you're talking about copywriting, copywriting right now is absolutely huge business online. So Lizzie says project management. Okay. So Magda, hello, Magda. Providing educational services, educational and linguistic services, wraparound care, tuition and English courses. Okay. Great. So Tanya says, politics think tank. Not much funding. Used to have free website with Weebly. Need replacement. What? So the nature of your business is politics think tank? Is that what you're saying? Magda says, hello. Hi, how are you? V Sharma says, selling stationery on eBay and Amazon and on our website. That's great. What kind of stationery is it? Is it educational stationery or wedding stationery or, events type stationery? What kind of stationery do you sell? So Neva says, interested in people, services and project management, health and social care provision to individuals with specific cognitive needs. Okay, thank you so much for that, everyone. Thank you. So V says coloring books, diaries, pens, pencils. Right, okay, thank you. Okay, so as I said, my name's Carol Allen, and I'm going to be your host over this next 3 hours. You will find that the 3 hours will go very, very quickly. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself. So I've been in further education for 25 years. It was a very long career, did many different types of roles within that career. And my last role was a principal. So I thoroughly enjoyed my time in further education. It was some of the best years that I'd ever had. And then I decided that I wanted to start my own business. So in 2006, I opened up a training academy. So a school where I was actually teaching post-16 students molecular science. I worked with government contractors as well as private contractors as well to deliver molecular science to these students. So, I had a great time doing that. I had that business for 10 years or so. So that was amazing. And then I decided that I wanted to do something different. So I opened up a couple of, e-com stores, and I was selling, dog clothes, posh dog clothes to a lot of Americans, believe it or not. So had a great time doing that. And then I decided that I wanted to learn more about the online space. So I wanted to know more about marketing, about the internet, about what you do online from what you shouldn't do, how you can make the online space work for you. So I decided to go to Florida. And, I spent some time over there being taught by some of the greatest people in the world that knows the internet and the online space inside out. So, I've had a lot of great training over there. And then I came back here, and then I decided that I wanted to become a business coach. So, it was a business coach. I was business coaching for teachers and principals and admins and everyone who was in education in terms of wanting to get out of the classroom into their own businesses. So it was amazing. So I made sure that I kind of kept to what I know. When you keep to what you know, it's very easy to start a business from what you know rather than from what you now have to start to learn. So, I like to keep things very simple and reduce as much stress as possible, and, just go with the flow of how I wanted things to be. So that's a little bit about me. So here I am now at Wenta. A lot of what I'll be talking about today will come from my personal experiences, what I've done with clients, what I know that works. I'll try to help to give you information on avoiding pitfalls, so that you can just get straight to what you need to do and have the impact that you need to have in your business. So, that's a little bit about me. So let's just do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll talk about Wenta. So this webinar is being recorded. I have made sure that we are on record, and it is also CPD certified. So that means you will get a certification at the ending of this webinar, not straight away. It comes in about 2.5 weeks, but it's, once the webinar's finished and, we've got your registration that you've been here, give us about 2.5 to 3 weeks to get the certification to you. Now, there is a criteria because you've got to stay till the end of this webinar, and you've also got to participate as well. So you've got to stay engaged. Because that's how it is when you go on these training courses, just to ensure that you're not just you know, sitting on the fences and leaving it for everyone else to get on with it, but you're actually rolling your sleeves up and getting involved as well. So another thing I would like to say is do ask your most pressing questions. No question is a wrong question as long as it relates to what we're talking about today. So please don't feel, you know, hesitant in any way to ask any questions that you want to ask or you need clarification on. Do ask the question. It's never a wrong question. I love asking questions. And this is why I always say, you know, and that's me putting my teacher's hat on. You are going to want to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask them. Just put it in the chat. Make sure it's clear, because if you make a statement, I won't view that as a question. I'll view it as a statement. So just make sure that you ask you know, your questions so that I can understand and give you the best possible answer that I can give. So let's talk a little bit about Wenta. So Wenta has been around for 40 years. Now, that is a very, very, very long time. And we have got offices in Stevenage, Enfield, Watford, and Potters Bar. And we're now extending out to Bedford. You know, we're going to be with the Job Hub in Bedford. We're also, there's lots of different things going on where we're going to be extending to parts of central Bedfordshire. So look out for us there if that's the area you're from. All our car parking facilities are completely free. We offer a mailing service that's £45 to £58.50 per month, depending on what kind of service you require. And we also offer a virtual address as well. The virtual address is going to help to professionalize your business when you, you know, put it out there online. So it's not a great look when you're using your home address, but when you've got a professional address, it just puts that stamp of professional approval on it when you're going to do business with other business owners or consumers. So we also offer one-to-one Zoom meetings, as well as telephone and face-to-face meetings, as well as these webinars, and they're all completely free. Now, I absolutely love doing these webinars because it's a great way of how I can get to see who's on the webinar. Some of the names I will recognize, others I can see that you're brand new, but then we can communicate through the chat box. So it's great to know where people are from, what journeys they're on, and how well they're doing in their business and so on. So we are a social enterprise business. So we're a not-for-profit. All the monies that we make in this business gets plowed back into the business. It doesn't go into the director's pockets, so it gets plowed back. So we plow it back in so that we can give you, it helps to support the learning experience. We want to give you the best learning experience and the best support services that we can give. This is the reasons why we plow it back. Now, last year, we launched 2 new products. If you go to our wenta.co.uk website, you will see Net Zero for My Business, and that is where we have created a 4-tier subscription level where we can actually deliver courses to you that surround reducing the carbon emissions in your business. So bronze is free right now. From the silver, that's the paid version, right through to the gold plus. There's going to be free web video resources, and there'll be free written handbooks and things that are in these bundles. Go and have a look. The bronze is free right now. And the way the world is going, a lot of people now, your consumers, people that will potentially buy from you, they want to be working with businesses that are on a sustainable strategy. So businesses that are on the strategy where they're looking to reduce the carbon emissions in their business. So this is what a lot of consumers want now. They want to pick and choose the businesses that are, you know, they've got more of a cleaner, greener kind of approach to it. So it's a good opportunity and a good time to get in, to reducing carbon emissions in your business if you're already an established business. But if you're not and you're at the beginning, then bronze is going to be great for you to, download that and contact us to get registered for that. That will be a good thing. So all of our advisors are fully qualified, and we're all business people. We've got a wealth of experience between us. Some of us has had more than one or two or three businesses. So there's a lot of knowledge between each one of us. So that's a little bit about Wenta. So now I'm going to come off the screen. You'll hear my voice, but you won't see my face. So since COVID-19, which almost seems a very, very long time ago now, everything online has changed. Absolutely everything. You know, the online space now has grown exponentially. And everybody and, their grandmother now is online. So many people are online. Not everyone in the world is online. I mean, there's over 800 billion people. 8 billion people, not 800, 8 billion people that are actually on planet Earth. So, and it's growing every single day. So not all 8 billion people are actually online. Now, on Facebook itself, there's probably about 3.1 billion people who are active online. Quite a lot of them are very active. On YouTube, it's not far from that figure. LinkedIn and WhatsApp and all the others, it runs into the hundreds of millions. So COVID, as horrible as it was, it done a huge favor for some people that were sitting on the sideline. And COVID as well forced a lot of people to go online. So a lot of businesses would not have survived if they hadn't have gone online. This morning I had a client, and I remember on our last conversation, because she wasn't online and she was saying to me, I hate, the online space, and it's not somewhere where I really want to be. And I said to her, well, if you want to do really well in your business, you're going to really need to get online, because that's where your ideal clients are. And she was so, reluctant and very hesitant about wanting to get online because, she just felt like, like the other lady here, it's very toxic. It's not, a great place to be. Anyway, she decided to take my advice. And she set up a couple of pages, Instagram, Facebook. She put a post in a group, which is what I'd recommended her to do, just to let people know what she was doing. And she put the post in one day. It was a Saturday. She went away and came back the Sunday, and she had 25 people that had told her that they're interested in what she had to sell. They were now ready to buy. 25 people. And this happened like within a 24-hour period. And she was just shocked. She was absolutely shocked. And what she was selling was her artwork. But what people were interested in was to have their children learn how to do art as an extracurricular activity. And then someone said to her, well, what about the adults? Are you planning to run some kind of workshops for the adults? How amazing is that? This was someone that was so reluctant, hated social media, didn't think it was really going to benefit her business. And here she is. She thought she would, follow my instructions, so to speak. and take me up on, what I'd suggested. And she had 25 people, plus people are now saying, can you do something for the adults? She's just absolutely bowled over. And then she said to me in the next breath, she said, not only, have I had that response, but because other people from different areas are also interested in what she's doing, she's now extending her business out to 4 or 5 different areas around Hertfordshire and Bedfordshire way. And I thought to myself, this is amazing. So she's gone from being reluctant, not being interested, not seeing the, the impact that it could have, to now having a group of 25 people who are now ready to pay her for her services. And then on top, she's asking, can you expand into adults? And not only can you expand into adults, but now can you also expand into all these different areas where we want you to come and teach our kids art? How amazing is that? So does the online presence work? The short answer is yes, it does. Do you have to like it? No, you don't. Is it going to have impact on your business? Yes, it will. So you've just got to move out of your way and think about the potential ideal clients that is gearing up, ready for you to serve them. So the business is about them. Any business that you're going into, your first and foremost thought should always be the client, because that's who you're there to serve and no one else. So you've got to get on platforms where these potential ideal clients are, because a lot of the times, people will say to me, I can't stand Facebook. I don't like this. I don't like that. Well, it's all well and good, and I totally understand, because there's things on Facebook that, you're not all going to like. There's things on LinkedIn and all the other platforms that you're not going to like either. But it's going back to what I said originally. This is not about you. It's about the ideal client. Your potential ideal client don't really care whether you like a particular platform or not. What they care about is the fact that you can help them with whatever the problem is. They're looking to you as the expert to get the results that they want. That is all they care about, nothing else. They don't care what degrees you've got. They don't care how long you've been doing what you've been doing. They don't care if you've got, whatever color hair, or, whether you're tall, short, small, large. They don't care. Can you give them the results that they want? That is what they care about. And that is what they're online searching for. So the online presence has major impact, major impact. So, I am really, really pleased to be presenting this to you today, because I'm going to show you what it can actually do for you in your business. So let's just continue. So we're going to talk a little bit about, your strategic approach, because when you're going online, you've got to be careful as a small business owner or a potential small business owner to consider why you're going online. So let me know in the chat the reasons why you want to be online. Why do you want to be there? It's very important that I believe that you should be there, but why do you want to be there? Just let me know quickly in the chat. So, and then you've got to think about, because being online can help you to become very successful in your business. I've got a niece, and she, within the last 2 years, she's traveled to 14 different countries. And, you know, she's very young. She's in her early 20s, and she's been traveling. She's now in the Caribbean, and she's going to be there for a few months. And she has got 3 different types of online business. So, no, 4. She's got 4. She's got 4 different types of online business. And, you know, she came to me the other day, a couple of months ago, and, you know, she said to me that she wants me to help her to create an offer because she wants to charge a premium price for an offer that she does. She's got 4 different types of businesses. So 4 multiple streams of income. Now, those 4 types of income, excuse me, excuse me. So those 4 different types of income helps her to travel wherever she wants in the world, because all she needs is her laptop and the internet. Nothing else. That's all she needs. So we created a great premium offer for her, and she's rolled that out, and she's, you know, focused now on trying to sell that to her people. So, you know, and she's doing all of what I'm telling you just from being online. That's it. All her customers are online. She runs a herbal business. She runs a she speaks fluent Japanese, so she teaches people who want to know how to speak Japanese, and she also teaches Japanese who want to know how to speak fluent English. So she does like she's got like an educational school online, and a couple of different types of other businesses that she's running. She's got an e-com shop and so on. So she's doing really well. And this is all online. She can sit down on the beach somewhere in the Caribbean, and she's delivering her Japanese classes to her people or her English classes to her people while she's looking at the sea. Isn't that amazing? Who wouldn't want that kind of lifestyle? I would want that kind of lifestyle. It's amazing to do that. You know, and this is what she does. And she's not the only person doing this kind of thing. A lot of people are doing this kind of thing that I've just described. They've got multiple different businesses online, which allows them to travel anywhere in the world and still operate and make an exceptionally good living. I think it's a great way to live. So, you know, you've got to think to yourself, right, what do I really, really want from being online? And this is why I say, take yourself out of the equation and think about the clients that you're going to be serving. That's who you need to talk about and who you need to be having at the forefront of your mind. So Magda says, my main target audience is online. Right, okay. So Simona says to reach a wider audience of clients. Okay. So Claire says, my business is a remote business with sessions done online or the telephone. So Magda says, the majority of my services can be offered online, which is great. Amit says, I would. Yeah, it's an amazing life she's got. She's really worked hard to get that. And I know a lot of people who are doing that right now, Amit. A lot of people are doing it. So Neva says, get online as a form of introduction to potential clients. What the business has to offer is quality. The personnel involved providing the service, potential partnerships. Right, okay. So Margaret says, want to be working with clients online. Right, okay. So you've all got a reason why. Now, what I would say to you, because you want to have what I call a very strong why. When I say a strong why, what I mean is the way when you start a business takes work. A business isn't something that goes in a straight line and it's perfect. That's not a real business. A real business starts off in a straight line and then it goes higgledy-piggledy a little bit and it bends and then it curves and then it goes round and then it goes in a straight line again and then it curves and it goes round and it comes back and then it goes in a straight line. But each time it goes in that straight line, it's growing all the time. So the line is getting straighter and straighter, but you still do get your twists and your turns. So nothing is perfect. Now, some people, when it starts to get the twists and the turns, that's when people give up and get fed up and they don't stick with it. So what I want you to do today as an activity is to have a really strong why. I remember this was something that a coach said to me a long time ago, and I couldn't understand why we had to have a strong why. But, you know, after a while, I began to understand why. And my why for wanting to go online was because I wanted to have a lifestyle that I knew was going to be harder to get if I wasn't online. You know, and I wanted to meet the right people. I wanted to sell higher premium products. So I wanted to work less and work smarter, but earn more. So my why was I wanted to do some things, you know, for my family that I knew was going to take me a long time to do if I wasn't online. So it was a very strong why. So for some people, it could be you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, you want to put your kids through private school or whatever it is, you know, and I've done all of those things. So I wanted to know, you know, and you don't have to tell me what it is. You can answer this for yourself. What if you were going to pick a strong why? What would your strongest why be? You don't have to put it in the chat because obviously that's going to be personal to you, but answer that question for yourself. And that question, you know, you should be able to answer that with a conviction to say, this is the reason why I really want to be online. You know, I've got some goals to reach. You know, I want to get my first house, or I want to pay off my mortgage, or whatever that why is, because whatever is that why is, everything you wrap around that why is what is going to drive you to stick with developing a really successful online business. So Claire is saying, my why is I want to reach the people who need the help I didn't get. That's really nice. That's a very good why. So what I would say to you now, Claire, is to drill down a little bit more and then, and you can write this down for yourself, Claire. You don't necessarily have to share it if you don't want to, but drill down a little bit more and make a list of the kind of help that you believe you did not get. You can keep that personal to yourself. Just make that list and say, I didn't get this, I didn't get that, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. And this is the reason why I'm going to be here in the online space. And put that list somewhere on your wall so that every time you look at what's happening in your business, you say to yourself, that's the reason why I'm doing it. So Zakaro says, my why is to reach more potential clients who would need my services seamlessly without being physically present. So I would say to you as a Zakaro, dig a little bit deeper. So, because you're going to reach these clients anyway, but personalize the why. Personalize it. So you're going to reach the clients anyway, but if we were to remove the clients away from your why, what would your personal reason be? So Claire says, I'm happy to share. Oh, well, that's great if you're happy to share, Claire. I wasn't, let me just go back to Claire's. I wasn't given the space to share. I wasn't heard and I wasn't respected. Right, okay. So these are your reasons. So this is what you're going to help your clients to do. You're going to give them the space to share. You're going to give them the space to be heard, and you're going to give them the space to be respected. So that's what's going to drive you. Every time you get glitches, or you feel discouraged in your business, you're going to remember, I'm doing this because I was not able to experience these. So this is what I'm doing because I want to have the impact, to help my clients to, have that space to share, have that space to be heard, and have that space to be respected. That's great. So Lizzie says, my why is to have a presence online for potential clients to know what we do and how our consulting in project management can help them to be more efficient. Specifically local nonprofits that have small budgets. Okay, so let's drill a little bit deeper, Lizzie. Let's go down a bit deeper. So if you were to remove your clients away from your why, make your why personal to you. So not in regards to the clients, but what do you want to achieve? Because obviously from having a successful business online, you're going to make money. So what do you want to do? Do you want to, get a really nice house? Do you want to live debt free? Do you want to have more time and freedom for yourself? Personalize it for you, because you'll get the clients anyway once you have all the right moving parts in place. So Claire says, it's also to empower those who feel forgotten. I love your reasoning, Claire. It's absolutely wonderful. We'll be quiet now. No, keep talking, Claire. I absolutely love, the kind of things that you're saying. So Magda says, to be able to provide students with the same fun, carefree childhood that I once enjoyed. I love this, Magda. That allowed me to grow up with confidence and allowed me to grow up the confident and educated woman I am today. That is wonderful. That's a really nice why. So Margaret says, wider range of potential clients. So you've gone back to the clients again. So personalize it, Margaret, enabling me to help more people. Right. Reduce costs means more profit with less working hours, giving me the independence and financial freedom. Okay, so I'm reading there financial freedom and independence. That's what I'm reading from that. Right, okay, that's a great why. So Neva says, my why is to market my business to these referees, to recommend clients. The nature of the prospective business is heavily dependent on specific professional assessment and referrals. Right, okay. So what is it personal for you? You don't have to share, but think about the personal for you. So Magda says, above all, making a positive impact in my home country of Angola. Okay, thank you so much, each one, for sharing. That was absolutely wonderful. So I hope that exercise was, something that's kind of got you thinking. So now we're going to be talking about websites, SEO, and Google. And this is what we're going to be covering in this particular session. So we're going to be talking a lot about websites And then we're going to moving it on from there about, other things besides websites. So just bear with me while we talk about the websites, because I want you to see how the power of having a website is going to help you to reach more people. So, we're going to look at, different types of approaches that you can take. There's SEO, there's SEM, so search engine optimization, there's search engine marketing. Some people will only use their website to market their business. Now, I'm going to explain to you, because oftentimes when I say to people, how are you marketing your business? They'll say to me, well, my website and social media. So your website and social media might not necessarily be enough. You might need a few more strategies to be able to help you to get the impact and the reach that you need. So let me just pull a couple of words off here and talk about these, and then we're going to move on. So keyword strategy. I can't stress enough that when you've created a website or you've had a website created, you need to understand fully how to communicate with people through the words that you put on the pages of your website. So when you're writing up the info to put on your website, you've got to write with a strategic approach. So what do I mean by that? Well, this is where it comes down to, do you know your ideal clients? If you are working from a place of your expertise, you will know your ideal clients, because a lot of the times we are a reflection of our ideal client. And if you're working from, so your ideal clients are going to have some traits that you've got. This is how you can resonate with who your ideal clients are. So I'm not saying that, your ideal client is going to be exactly like how you are and they're going to have the same personality and the same characteristics. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you are going to experience oftentimes some of the experiences that your ideal client has with the problem that they're trying to solve. You've also had some of those experiences as well. This is why oftentimes when you're working from a place of your expertise, you can resonate and relate to what your potential ideal clients are going through, because you've had some similarities of the experience that they've gone through. So you know now how to communicate effectively to them. And how do you communicate? Through your website. Your website is an amplification of your voice. So your website is there to speak to your potential ideal clients when you cannot. Because whatever is written on your website, your potential ideal client, if they are the right people for you, will go and read. And there are people out there that will read every single word you've written. How do I know? Because I'm one of them. I love to read, and I like to read everything that people write, and in my line of work that I've done for 25 years, I've had to mark exam papers. I've had to write exam papers. So I've had to like reading, whether I liked it or not. I've had to do it because that was what I did for 25 years. So if I'm the kind of person, you put up a privacy policy or a terms and conditions or, all the fine printy stuff, I will read everything word for word. I will sit there with my pen and I will underline everything that, jumps out at me. So, and there are thousands and millions of people like me. that like reading, that likes to make notes. There's thousands of us out there, millions. So it's important that what you have got written resonates with your potential ideal client. Because when a client goes on your site, you want them to stay. You want them to go to the other pages and read what you've written there. Because the more they're reading about your brand, is the more they're beginning to know, like, and trust you. And that's exactly what you want. Because when people know, like, and trust your brand, they are going to feel very comfortable to buy from you with ease. So, it's really important that you think about your keyword strategy. So, when you understand your ideal client, you will know what they talk about, how they feel, what they think, the kind of words that they use. And I'm going to give you a very, very quick example. I remember I was talking to a client of mine, and my client is, she's an ADHD specialist for adults. Let me see if she's on here, because if she's on here, she can share her story. No, she's not on here, so I'll share it on her behalf. She likes me sharing it anyway. So she's an ADHD coach for adults that have got ADHD. And, she had written a website, and I said to her, what you've got written on the website isn't speaking to your ideal client. Now, she thought it was, because it was all about ADHD. So I said to her, people that suffer with ADHD, you have different types of people. Some people can cope with it and live with it, and they're fine and they can manage it. Other people, it's driving them absolutely crazy, and they can't wait to get rid of it. They can't wait to get someone to help them to manage it in a way where it doesn't become a problem in their life. It's just driving them crazy. And that was exactly what I said to her. I said, your website needs to come across to people that you can deal with the craziness of ADHD. So when you create posts and ask questions, you need to be saying something like, is your ADHD driving you crazy? And I was just saying that to her to kind of get her to understand what I was trying to say. Would you believe I then went online not long after talking to her, and I have got a connection on my my social media. I've got a friend on social media who's a solicitor, and he is based in the US, and he's got ADHD. I did not know he had ADHD. And he put up a post, and the post said, my ADHD is driving me crazy. Talk about coincidence. I mean, I couldn't have written the script, honestly, because it was something that I had said to her literally 20 minutes before. And then I go online and I see the post, my ADHD is driving me crazy. So I got on the phone to her and I said to her, get online quickly, go and have a look at this post. This gentleman's got ADHD, and look at the way he's expressing himself on this post. My ADHD is driving me crazy. And she got what I was trying to say to her straight away. The penny went down, the penny sank, it dropped. It was like a mic drop moment for her, because now she understood what I was trying to say. Your website is what speaks to your ideal client. So the way you've got to speak to that person from your website needs to resonate with them. Talking to them about, well, we do this with ADHD and we can help you do that. People don't want to know that. What they want to know is, how can you sort out the fact that it's driving them crazy and it's getting on top of their nerves and they can't live with it anymore. They need help. They're in pain. They want to get out. And that's how the website needs to speak. So I've shared that story with you, and I'll be sharing quite a few other stories as we go along, just to give you an idea as to when you're writing your content for your website, your copywriting, when you're writing that information, it's got to resonate with your ideal client. If you're coming from a place of your expertise, then you'll find it easier to communicate with your ideal client. If it's coming from a place where this is a brand new business, I don't really understand it, I've got to figure my way through it, it's a new thing that I'm doing, you're going to need to get to know the industry inside out. You're going to need to get to know the ideal clients inside out. You'll need to begin to understand what are their pain points, why do they need what I've got, and how can I help them to get the results that they want. So we are now at the we're at the first hour. So we're going to take a 10-minute break, and I will be back in 10 minutes and we will continue with this. So don't shut your computers down, just pause, and I'll see you shortly. Hi, everyone. We're back. Hi. Who says there's no sound? The reason why there's no sound is because we were on a break. Hi, JC. Hello. How are you? So, if you're just coming in, JC, we've just finished our first break. Right. So, let me just see if there's anything else in the chat that anyone's asking. No. Okay. So, let's continue. So the platforms and the channels, and you can use your website to reach your ideal clients. You can use blogs, social media, and the different types of content that you're going to put out there. It's really important to note this. When you're creating content for your website, or for your social media pages, you've got to make sure that the information, if you're using a video or an image, the loading time isn't any more than 3 seconds. Why? Because people have got a 3 second attention span, and their attention span on social media is very, very low. So, 1, 2, 3, and people are gone. But think about it, put yourself in their shoes. If you go to a website and the website's taking a long time to load, you're not going to stay, are you? You're just going to leave. So, when this happens, by this time, you've lost about 25% of your customers because speed matters to people. Right. So Claire is saying, I'm going to have to change my pages as they are slow. Do you mean your social media pages, Claire? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean your website page? Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Because what will happen, people, when they click on something, remember, we live in a world that's got a microwave approach to it. People like things done quick and they like it to be hot. In other words, quick, give me the results now. That's the world we're living in right now. If you can't, do things quick, people aren't interested. So unfortunately, that's, what we are in now. So Claire is saying hers takes 8 seconds. It's too long and you're going to lose a lot of customers. Why does it take 8 seconds, by the way, Claire? Is there a reason? And did you create it yourself? So you've got to keep your pages well organized. Make sure that people can read. The most important information should be in the top left, moving towards the top right, and then down to the bottom. So your website needs to really follow an order that people like to read in. So why have a website? Right. Okay. So if you made it yourself, there could be things there that's on there that's, um, causing you to leave money on the table, really, because 3 seconds is enough. So yes, that's something that you might need to look at. So these are the reasons why people tend to have a website. They want to tell their story. They want to present their brand or that showcase their work. I remember not too long ago, I needed to buy something. I think we were going on a retreat and I needed some pencils, coloring books, because the retreat that we were going on, we were going to do, it was a vision board retreat. I think it was last year, just before Christmas. And I needed to go and buy all of these bits and pieces. But I thought to myself, oh, I don't need to go into town. I can just go online and get everything all ordered. And I was going to a very popular store. This store has got maybe 70 to 80 different stores across the country. So it's a very popular store. When I went online looking for the website, I couldn't find the website. And I thought to myself, hang on a minute. I looked at the name of the store because I use the store quite a lot. And I put that name into Google looking for the website. Did I find a website? Let me tell you what I found. I found a landing page. So a landing page is a one pager that tells you how many stores they've got, where their stores are located, and what they sell. Could I order online? No. Was I frustrated? Yes. Why was I frustrated? Because I had now had to go in my car, drive all the way to town to buy the merchandise because I was going to be, it was going to, and it was in rush hour as well. So I know that what should have taken me like, 20 minutes to get to town was now going to take me about 45 minutes to get to town because now I was smack bang in the middle of rush hour and the traffic is just horrendous where I live. So I thought to myself, I'm going to have to go through all that stress. And really all that was required was a website where I could just click, click, click and order. But that wasn't the case. So if you feel that your business, why have I shared that story? Because you need to think about, why does your business need a website? That particular store that I'm telling you about, they definitely do need a website, but obviously they don't believe that they do. And I'm sure there are thousands of other people like myself that would like to order from their website, but they haven't got one. So you've got to go through the trouble, of releasing carbon emissions into the atmosphere by driving your car just to get there, because that store is on a retail park. So it's not as if it's easy to catch a bus to get there. You're going to have to drive. So that was frustrating. So you've got to think to yourself, why do you want to have a website? What is it that you want your website to do? Because it's the website that is the first part of your marketing funnel. And that is what is going to help you to be able to sell your products or your services. So ask yourself, why do I need a website? And if you've already got a website, you can ask yourself this question: does this website reflect my brand in the best way that it can? And if the answer to that is no, then I would suggest that you get yourself a different website. If the answer to that question is yes, and you feel that it's working and you're getting clients through it, and it's helping you to, create impact and reach, then that's very different. So, not every website is going to give you the results that you want. So sometimes you've got to go back to the drawing board. So think about, because depending on the type of business, you may just want to have a simple website. So think about the simplicity of your website. Your website needs to be nice and clear. It needs to speak to the ideal client. It needs to, be very interactive. So you need to have maybe a video on there, maybe a page, a button where someone can click and sign up to something for free. It probably might need to have a calendar on there where someone can book an appointment to speak to you, or maybe it could have a membership on there where people need to log in to access some training that you've got. You want your website to be very interactive, because when it's interactive, Google will rank the keywords on your pages in the Google search bar when people come to search. So if you're selling, if you're selling food, you're selling pastries and cakes, and on your website, you've written, you've used the word pastries and cakes a lot. When people come to find a business in your area that sells pastries and cakes, because you've used the word a lot on your website, Google will send them to your website. So that word, pastries and cakes, will rank in Google if a lot of people put in pastries and cakes. That's how it works. And, you can go to keywordtracker.com, and in keywordtracker.com, that's where you can find out what kind of words are ranking for specific industries. So Amit says, which website builder is best for free, low cost, in my opinion? That's a really good question. It's a very subjective answer that I would give, though, Amit, because although I might think something is cheap, what's necessarily cheap to me might be expensive to somebody else. Wix does a reasonable one. Squarespace does Wix and Squarespace actually does a free website. But I'll be honest with you, if you want to attract some good quality clients, I wouldn't go for a free website. And that's just me being very honest. Because first impression is going to count. And if your website looks free and low cost, that's going to repel your clients. The people that would come to you, they'll think that you're not serious. So, you don't want it to look like a Mickey Mouse kiddies type kind of website. You want your website to look very professional, very slick, very polished, very finished, and it's ready to speak to the ideal client. So, that's what I would say. So Amit saying, as it's only a few pages, I don't need to pay a company. Well, you can do it yourself. If you feel you've got HTML coding skills, and you understand search engine optimization, then you can do it yourself if you understand those two things. Yeah, but right. When I say if you understand them, Amit, remind me of what you sell again, because are you the professor? Remind me if you're the professor, and tell me what you're planning on selling again. I can't remember if you are the professor. So Magda says, in my opinion, paying is the best option. And I agree with you, Magda. I'm 100% there with you on that one. Okay, so yes, you're the family solicitor. Okay, so Amit, and you want to, it's a law practice that is it a law practice that you're setting up, or you've already set it up? So remind me quickly, Amit. So yes, you're setting up. Amit, for what you're going to be doing, honestly, I would strongly recommend that you have it done professionally, because you want your website to rank in Google. And a professional website builder, because you're setting up a family law firm, so you want to get some, people that are really going to take your website serious enough when they go in to look at, the kind of things that you do. So I would really strongly recommend that you get that done professionally. GoDaddy can do one for the cheapest is £600, but because you're going to have a list of different services that you're going to be offering, can I ask, will you be partnering with other solicitors? So you're going to have a whole plethora of different services that each solicitor can offer. Is that the plan? So if that is the plan, Amit, you're going to need a great website with different types of services that explains what each one is. And, you're going to need a page with some testimonials from people. You're also going to need like another page where you can showcase the different types of solicitors within your practice, their names, their roles, their titles, who's senior, who's, paralegal, who's associate solicitor or whatever, so I would honestly strongly suggest you have an absolutely fantastic professional website done that's really going to showcase your practice. So Simona says, done professionally, do you mean Squarespace, etc.? No, what I mean when I say done professionally, I mean you pay a professional who does it every single day for a living to carry out the services for you. That's what I mean when I say done professionally. Someone who knows, what they're doing. It's their daily job. So Neva says, set up a website with Wix, but get confused on how to insert information into it. Website is launched, but absence of useful business information. Neva, remind me what you're selling again. So Simona says, thanks. You're so welcome, Simona. So remind me of what you're selling again. Because if you're selling services that you're going to charge people a lot of money for, then I would go super duper with your website. I would have it done professionally. That's one thing that I would definitely have done professionally, because I know people are going to make a first impression from the website. So, I would not, compromise on the website. It's a bit like, how should I put it? Let's just say you're going to buy a car. When you're going to buy a car, you're going to buy a car in the hope that, you're going to have that car for a little while. I'm sure you're not buying the car with the intention to get rid of it in 6 months. You at least want to keep it for a couple of years. So you're going to buy a decent enough kind of car to last you that long. So you're going to spend a little bit more money because you're looking at more than like 1 year of probably hanging on to it. Just look at where you're going. Don't look at where you are right now, this minute, but what impact could this website have on your business in a year or two time? So Amit is saying, will just be myself at the moment, but partner with a solicitor firm, which will do a share fee. Right, okay. They will do the office side. I need to find my own clients when I'm built up a bit later, then open my own firm. Okay, got it. So here's the thing then, Amit. Let me tell you how to position yourself. Although you will be a one-man band, you don't want to portray yourself as a one-man band. You want to look like you're a partnership. You've got lots of partners within there. So, okay, you're a one-man band, but your website doesn't have to suggest that you're a one-man band. Does that make sense? Your website can look like you have got, several people working in there and you're doing different types of, things. So, but just think about how you want to position what you're saying that you're going to be doing. And then, you can then, or if you want to, you could do a website that's probably got about 5 pages. Make sure you've got your testimonials on there so people can actually see who, Amit Veer is all about and, what he does as a family law, solicitor and so on. And then you can build up from there. So think about the reasons why you want your website. So let's talk about the site options. So, you can have different types of templates. There's Wix, there's Squarespace, there's WordPress. Now, if you are absolutely broke and you don't really have the money to pay someone for a website, okay, you're welcome, Amit. If you're really broke and you really can't do this, you can't pay £500 or £600, then Squarespace does a nice free one. But remember what I said, people are going to judge you from your website. The Squarespace one, I like that one. I was showing that one to one of my clients, but if you are quite low on funds, then you've got to ask yourself, Is now the right time for you to be going into business if you don't have the money to do it? That's a whole other can of worms that needs to be opened up, or maybe closed. I don't know. So, because you don't want to start a business and then halfway through, within 6 months, you think, oh my goodness me, I've run out of money. What am I going to do now? I need to go and buy stock. I need to pay for my website. I need to pay for my hosting. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I don't have any money coming in. So you don't want to be in that position. So that's why I said if you're strapped for cash, is now the right time. So here is a web page. Tell me what you think of this one. What's missing? So Magda says messy. Claire says too busy. The headings are missing. There's no menu bar, is there? No menu bar. There's no social media icons that you can click on that links out to their social media. There's no structure to the page. Can you tell what this website page is about? Magda says, I couldn't tell that it was a website. It looks like a magazine. Margaret says, horrible. Neva says, too crowded. Amit says, don't know what I'm looking at. It's hard to see what it is about. I'm seeing a box here that says, we appreciate your support. Donate now to keep this site online. So potentially it's a donation page, but there's nowhere that directs you to donate. Claire says chaotic. Magda says something to do with travel. Claire says chaotic. Lizzie says, I could have the intention to make us see what the bombardment of news is. You're funny, Lizzie. Amit says scam. So there's no, it's not giving me an option to click on anything. It's not a great web page, is it? It's cluttered, the navigation's hidden, or there's no navigation. It's lacking in color contrast. It's not a responsive design. It has inconsistent typefaces and few characteristics that might, make a website look good. It's not great. There's no call to action. There's no video. There's no sign up to anything. It's not great. And would you believe that this is not even an example? This is a real web page. It's a real web page that someone actually created. I don't know how they got away with it. And I wonder if they did get clients from it. So what do you think of the next one? Claire said it's a headache. I agree. Magda says, I'm sorry, this is ridiculous. Tell me, what do you think of this one? How does this look to you? So Claire says she likes it. Great. What do you think of the picture quality? Organized? What about the font? The size of the font? The fact that there's a call to action right here. Simona says clean and essential, clear. Magda says it's warmed my heart after the previous stroke. It's very clear. What is it about? Well, it says here, booking a cooking class today. And up here in the top left, it says cooking classes. So it's a website about cooking classes. And on the menu bar here, it's got cooking classes again, and they do cooking classes for corporate and private companies. So Claire says, I want to look at it. It draws me in. Yes. Amit says, inviting to use it. Yes, I agree. Margaret says, clear aim and call to action. I agree. Neva says, it prompts an action kind to the eye. Totally agree. Magda says, it also screams luxury. It does, don't it? It looks like a classy website. Simple but classy, and it speaks to the point. It's got the number here that you can contact. You can click on their button right here to sign up to their booking class. I really like that. You know, they've got classes here that they can talk to you about the different types of classes. You know, so that's really good. That's what you want to see on a website. Maybe what I would probably put on this website, let me count how many menus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could get away with an eighth menu that says gallery. So they could have, or they could even fit the gallery under cooking classes. They could have the picture of the classes under the cooking classes, and then they could have the list of the content of what each class is going to be about. So they could have like a picture of some people in the class, and then a list of, you know, all the different topics that's covered within that class. And then they could make the eighth menu bar, maybe the testimonials or something like that. I think that would work, but it's a great website. So it's important to make sure that your website loads very quick. When you've got images like this, you know, if you've got a really good mobile phone, your phone could actually take top quality images like this. Are you aware of that? You know, my daughter's got the latest iPhone, and all the pictures that it takes, it looks like a professional photographer has taken those pictures. It's beautiful quality. So Claire says, crikey, I've speeded my website up just while we are talking. Really? What have you done to speed it up? That's really good. So let's talk about reviewing your current website. Well, Claire, you've just reviewed yours and you've told us that you've been able to speed it up. So you've acted very swiftly here, Claire. So good qualities of a great website. So let me just go through those. So Claire is saying deleted pics that weren't needed. Well, that's very good. So, you know, you've reviewed your website. So you followed, you got ahead of my next slide. You obviously read the script before we got here today, Claire. So good qualities of a good website. So it must be well designed. So you can write this down, well designed, functional. It should reflect your company's products and services and your ultimate brand. So these are the good qualities of a website. So it should have a good loading time. You should have at least 3 to 5 different colors on your website that all complements each other. It should be easy to use, optimize for mobile, fresh quality content, readily accessible, so people can contact you if they want to. It should have a clear call to action, and it should be optimized for your mobile and for social media as well. For the search engine, your mobile, and social media. So here are some platforms that people tend to sell their products and their services from. Now, Shopify, I think, is great. I've had a Shopify store before, and I absolutely loved it. I've done the Facebook shop. The only thing that I don't like about the Facebook shop is, well, let me tell you what I like about it first. You can put all your products on your Facebook page, and people who are part of your community will see everything that you've got to sell. So that part of it is great. Now, here's the thing. When you upload your products to the Facebook shop, sometimes Facebook doesn't put your products on the right page. Sometimes it can put it on different pages that belongs to you. And this has happened to me. And sometimes they can duplicate the products. So if you're selling, I don't know, coffee, let's just say you're selling coffee and it's a particular brand, sometimes Facebook can duplicate the same coffee twice. So when people go to your shop, they're going to see a double version of the coffee that you're selling. And it's like, why do they need to show me two when I'm happy to see one? So I personally prefer the Instagram shop. When you put your products on Instagram, I think the functionality of the interface is a lot easier to work with. Facebook was too clumsy and too, it just wasn't smooth running on Facebook. You know, I spent a lot of time sending messages to their help desk, asking them to sort out, the clumpiness of what was happening. So there are people that are making 5, 6, and 7-figure incomes just by selling on these platforms. And I'll be honest with you, when you've got a shop that you are promoting online or services online, you do need to run some kind of ads to what you're doing. The reason being, there's lots of objectives that you can actually target as a goal in order to run your ads. So let me give you an example. Some people will run an advert so that they can get more engagement. So there's an objective engagement. There's also a conversion engagement. So some people will run an ad to get conversion, so to get people to buy. There's also a promote page objective. Some people will run an ad just to promote their page. So not to get people to buy or engage, but just to promote their page. So this is why I'm saying you will need at some point to be able to run an ad so that you're getting your page out there and optimized so that people know that you exist as a business and a brand. So you will need a marketing budget when you're online. You know, some people will promote their products organically, like my client that I was telling you about earlier on. So you can actually do very well organically. Organically takes longer, but for her, she hit the right target at the right time, and she got to them on the right platform and offering the right service. That's why she got 25 people responded in 24 hours. It was like one person an hour almost. So what do you want your website to do? So let me know in the chat what you want your website to do. So earlier on, we spoke about why, what was your why? Why do you want a website? Now we're asking, what do you want it to do? What is the purpose, that you want your website to do? For some people, it's going to be they want it to build their brand. So Claire says to draw people in by the way of blogs. and relate to and take bookings for sessions. That's great. Simona says to mirror the quality of the services I provide. Okay, great. And to make people want to work with me. Right. So different people are going to have different reasons why they want a website. So does anybody want a website to improve their brand identity? So Magda says, raise brand awareness and take bookings. Okay, got it. So building your brand is one thing. Some people will want it to take the money. Other people might want it to provide a large landing page, just like that store that I spoke to you about. They provided a landing page and it was like, you know, it's not a landing page that I wanted to see. I need to be able to order the products now. Some people want it to act as a leaflet. And other people want it to take bookings. So Neva says, build brand identity and acquire clients. Okay, that's great. So you want your website to wow your visitor. Your website homepage is a bit like when someone comes to your house, they knock on the door and you open the door and welcome them in. You make them feel at home. So that is your homepage. It's the page where you say, hi, come in, take a seat. Would you like a cup of coffee or a cup of tea? That's what the website homepage is for. So the products that you're going to put on there, that page really is just going to tell people about what, you know, you want to sell your key products right there on that homepage, the ones that is going to really give them the wow factor, and your approaches. So that's where you're going to have your best copy on the homepage and also on the About Us page as well. So you want your website is there to remind people that you're the best at what you do. You're a great source of information, you're reachable, and you can help them to achieve their goals. So how do you think people are going to find you? So let me know in the chat, how do you think people are going to find you? How do you plan for people to find you? So Magda said social media and word of mouth. Okay. So when you set up your social media pages, do you expect that people will find you as soon as you've clicked the button and you've gone live? So Simona says, if there's not a good SEO strategy, they'll only find the website after you tell them it exists. I agree. Magda says no. Neva says, search via company name and names of manager. So Neva, if someone goes online to search for the services that you sell, will they know what the name of the company is and the name of the manager? Claire says hashtags and tagging. So let's have a look at some of the ways. Right, keywords, right, okay. Let's have a look at some of the ways in how people can find you. through Google, through social media, through your links from your blog and your website. Now, myself and my colleague Mariam, we created a webinar called Affiliate Marketing. And in that webinar, we show you how to wrap up your links, your affiliate marketing links, in an article or a blog. We show you how to do that so that you can sell it, and on your website. So Margaret says, Google my business directories. Okay. So the search engine uses a combination of algorithms in order to be able to rank, your web page. So it's not just one bot. An algorithm is a bot. It uses a range of, numerous types of bots in order to be able to connect with any keywords that are on your website that is resonated with the people who are searching. So the better the ranking you have, the closer to the top of the search results your site's going to be. So these algorithms, they're like little computers that crawls billions of web pages on the web. And the program that fetches the information is called Googlebot. Googlebot, also known as a crawler, robot, or spiderware, that's what we call the algorithm. So, it's millions of different little computers all working together on your website, and that's what's going to fetch the information. So Niva says, my names and company names therefore cannot be found unless aware of these two. Right, I don't understand what you mean, Neva. So let's talk a little bit about SEO. So SEO is short for search engine optimization. What does that mean? Well, you've all heard of Google. And Google is the largest search engine in the world. Google search engine is made up of millions of little computers that contains bots. So Google collects and stores data. That's what they do. So when someone searches for a service like what you offer, all of those little bots, they then start to search for the keywords online. And you may create a website and your competitor creates a website, but on your competitor's website, they've got all the right words. So your competitor can have a website that doesn't look half as good as yours, but more people end up going there because they've got the right keywords on than what you have. This is why search engine optimization is very important. So you can promote your website through the searches that are done. But you need the right keywords on there. Let me know if this is making sense to you. Just checking in just to make sure, it's making sense. Okay, Simona says yes. Neva says yes. Okay. Claire says yes. Right. So let's continue to talk about keywords. Here's a couple of links that you can go to find out what kind of keywords are trending in your industry. Keywordtracker.com is one. Keywordtool.io is another. This one is for Instagram. So you've got to think about the kind of language that your ideal clients are using. You can find out what kind of language. When I say language, I mean the kind of words that they're using to describe what they want. You will find, go into groups, go and join industry-specific groups and find out what your potential ideal clients are saying, because people love to talk and they love to complain. So find out what kind of things they're saying, how they feel, because when a client expresses how they feel, that's where you should decide, do I have the kind of service or products that can help them to be able to get the results that they want? That's what you need to be asking yourself. And if the answer is yes, then you know that you're the right person for them. But if the answer is no, don't be afraid, don't ever be afraid to recommend a client to go to another business owner. And the reason why I say this is because it's all about, if you can't offer the service that you know your competitor can, then why not? I think it's all about having respect and professionalism for each other and not worrying about whether your competitor is better than you, because you will need to stay in your own lane and your competitor will stay in their lane. So you don't want to be worried about, you know, should I be recommending someone else, or, you know, am I going to end up losing business because I've recommended somebody else? Don't think that way. You know, there is enough people online today. Remember, there's over 8.1 billion people on Earth. On Facebook alone, there's over 3 billion. YouTube is nearly 3 billion. You cannot serve 3.1 billion people on Facebook. You don't have the capacity to do it. You couldn't do it. So there is enough space for everybody to get clients. And another thing that I want you to think about is this: when you are sending clients somebody else's way, you're planting seeds. Someone else will send clients your way, so you'll reap the rewards from doing that. There is enough to go around, more than enough, you know, and this is why I don't understand why people worry about what their competitors are doing. Don't worry about what your competitors are doing, because there is enough people for everybody. You've just got to find your tribe, find your right people that's going to have the impact and have the reach that you want for your business. Simona says, such wise words, Carol. I can only tell you from experience. I'll tell you something, Simona. When I had my first business, I was on a very busy street where there were lots of different shops, and I was an academy, and people would come in and ask for things, and I would send them down the road to the person that was selling the things. they would come in and they would say, do you know where we can find so and so? Do you know where we can buy? So I say, go to the shop down the road, just tell him that Carol sent you, or tell her that Carol sent you. And they used to respect me for it. And I got a lot of people through word of mouth because I did that. So, Claire says, I was just going to write that. Okay, we are now at the end of the second hour. It goes so quickly. And we'll have one more hour after this. So we are going to take another break and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Just pause, don't close your computers down, and I will see you shortly. Hi everyone, we're back. So let's talk about compliance and how to review this, because when you're actually online, and a lot of people don't realize this, because quite a few people have said to me, do they need to be insured when they're online? The short answer to that question is you do need to be insured. If you're running a business in the online space, you're going to need insurance. So you'll need public liability. You'll probably need public indemnity. So, and it depends on what kind of business you're running. Let's just say you're running a business where you're showing people how to do trading. Then you're going to need something like, a trading insurance and cybersecurity insurance and so on. So, it just depends clearly on what you're doing. That's going to determine what kind of insurance you will need. So, public liability is one of the most popular insurances that all business owners do, tend to get. Because if someone wants to, and people can actually bring claims against you, even though you're an online business, it can happen. And there's also organizations that trolls and polices the internet in terms of making sure that businesses act properly and they're doing the right things. There are companies as well that will go on websites and check to see if you've got a privacy policy, terms and conditions, and refund policy in place. Those things are there. There are organizations that actually do that. Now, let me explain GDPR. Right, someone's put something in the chat. Let me just have a look at that. Right, Amit says, which companies would you recommend using? Right, using what for insurance? If you go to our website, Amit, look at the menu bar that says savings, click on there, and then you will scroll down and you will see feel good and feel great bundles. So wenta.co.uk, savings, feel good, feel free, feel good, feel great. And you'll see a whole range of different solicitors in those bundles that we recommend. So you'll need to make sure, if you are online and you're selling products or services and you require people to sign up for something, then, or you're going to be posting goods out to people, you must become GDPR compliant. So here in the UK, you can go to the ICO. So go to the gov.uk website, click on ICO, put ICO in the search box, and then you will find the ICO and just put in data protection and it will give you all of the information around data protection. I don't know which one it is in the US or in Italy or anywhere else, but for the UK, I know you're just gonna have to do your Google search to find the US equivalent. So you've got to become GDPR compliant, and you've got to also identify if you've got cookies on your website. If you're selling products and services, you must have those 3 policies that I've mentioned earlier on. Your refund policy can actually go inside of your terms and conditions. That's where you can put that. It can sit on its own in there. People need to know, if I don't like the product, can I return it? The other day I was on a website and they give you 45 days to return a product. That's a very long time, because a lot of people only give you 28 days. So 45 days is a very, very long time. That's well in excess of a month. So GDPR, you've got to let your potential ideal clients know that you are registered for data protection. This gives them a feeling and a sense of security. So, let people know that although you're an online company, you're reputable, you're professional, you've got the stamps of approval, you've got certain membership sites that you are membership with, and you've got certain governing bodies that oversees what you do as a professional. Have your stamps of approval on your website. I noticed that on quite a few websites, people that are into sustainability will have something on there about that. Our free bronze network net zero badge, it's completely free. That can go on your website, and that tells people that you're on a net zero journey. It's kind of a stamp of approval just to say you're on this journey. It just makes you look more reputable as a sustainable company, if that's the direction that you're going to take. So you need to be registered with ICO. Ownership rights and passwords. Now, let me explain this, because if you are having your website built professionally, then you need to make sure that you say to the person who's building it, I would like to have the right to my keys for my website. I would like the master key. The master key is the key, it's a piece of code, and it's what you use to get in and out of your website. And, when you have your website built professionally, whoever builds it should really give you all, the necessary details that you need to be able to go in and out as freely as you want. They should not be hanging onto it. Years ago, website creators used to hang on to the keys, and every time you wanted something changed, they would charge you for changing it. So this is what we mean by ownership rights and passwords and so on. So Simona says, if the website only shows your services and clients will pay you via bank transfer, what GDPR should the website have? Okay, that's a really good question. Right, if you are not planning to take people's, to obtain people's name, telephone number, address, or even email, if you're not planning to obtain any of those things, Simona, then you don't need to register for GDPR. If people aren't gonna, if they don't need to hand over those kind of details to you, then you don't need to register at all. Now, if you're going to ask people to sign up to something, sign up to get my free offer, click this link here. You're giving them a call to action. So when you give them the call to action and they put their name and their email in, you've just collected their data. So you're going to need to sign up to GDPR if you're going to do that. If you're not going to collect anybody's data and you don't need to know their name, you don't need their address, you don't need their email, their mobile number, nothing, then you don't need to register for it. So can you see the difference there? So you just need to make sure if you're collecting data, you've got to become GDPR compliant. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Well, yes, if you're going to know their email, you will need to become GDPR compliant because that's data. So Magda says, I was unaware of this information. Thank you. You're so welcome. Yes, because a lot of times people don't realize that even someone's name is data. Name comes under data. Anything that is personal to how you can contact them, that is data. So, you've got to, what you're doing by saying that I'm signing up to data protection. You're signaling that you're promising to keep people's information safe and not give it to Tom, Dick, and Harry. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So that's what the promise is. And that gives people more security because they'll be saying, well, this company looks reputable. They've got their GDPR in place. So I'm going to buy from them because they're not going to spam me. They're not going to, pass my details on. Did you know that there are a lot of companies out there that sells our data to other companies? Were you aware? A lot of the calls that you will get, I don't know if you've ever received any calls, and people will call and you'll ask them, hang on a minute, they're selling insurance, they're selling internet services, they're selling mobile phones and all sorts. And you'll be saying, where did you get my telephone number from? And they'll say to you, oh, your number was sold to us by another company. It was handed to us by another company, but really it was sold. Mortgage brokers do exactly the same thing. They sell the data of their clients to other mortgage firms. So it's not cool. It's not cool at all because, you give them your data with the trust and in the hope that it's not going to go anywhere. And then they go and sell it on to other people. It's wrong. So there are laws against this kind of thing if people get caught doing it. But I get lots of calls and, they'll say to me, your mobile phone is up for renewal. And it's not up for renewal because I've only just taken the thing out. Your mobile phone is up for renewal, or, we've noticed that you're with Three and you're not with Three, you're with Vodafone. So, and you're wondering, hang on, where did you get my number from? I'll tell you who does this as well. People in the Forex trading industry. You could put your name and number in online to purchase something, then all of a sudden you're getting Forex traders that are contacting you and telling you that you need to spend £250 to trade online. And you're thinking, what is going on here? So these things are happening all the time. So this is what GDPR is all about. And it gives your potential ideal clients the confidence to believe that you're not going to do that with their details. So let's have a look at social media. So now we're on to session 2, and this is what we're going to be covering right here. So let's talk about your target audience, because and I could talk about the target audience for a whole year. The target audience is so important to where you want to take your business. Now, if you said to me, Carol, my target audience is everybody, anybody who wants my services is my target audience. My response to that would be, your target audience cannot be any and everybody, because not any and everybody wants what you have to sell. So now you're going to have to dig deep to find out who your target audience is. Now, I think, I can't remember which webinar I was on, and I was explaining the difference between the target audience and your ideal client. Amit, I think you were on that webinar, if I remember right. So Lizzie says, I had to change my phone number. It was sold the first week I got it. Really? That's not cool, is it? It's not good. So one of the things that I said about the audience is, in your audience group, and stay with me, follow me on this as I take you on this explanation. When we talk about the audience, we're talking about a lot of different people that are interested in what you have to sell. It doesn't mean that they want to buy. It just means that they are interested in what you have to sell. They're not necessarily going to be buyers, but they like what you're selling and they're very interested in it. That's what you call a target audience. Right. So I'll come back to that in a minute, Amit. So that's what you call a target audience. Now, just because, so let me expand on what I've just said. So you could have a group of people that are interested in weight loss. They're very interested in it. You know, they're probably in the category of needing to lose weight. So they're interested in anything to do with weight loss. They'll look at it, you know, they'll probably, you know, spend some time online searching for things. But when they see the price, they're not going to buy it because they'll be thinking, oh, it's too expensive. But they're in the audience group and they're interested in the weight loss products, but they're thinking, oh, it's too expensive. You know, the bits of equipment that they need to help them to lose the weight. Oh, it's too expensive. Oh, I'm not ready to buy it now. But they're in the audience and they're very interested. Now, below the audience, when you start to drill down, you're going to find some people that are gems, and it's those gems, those people that are ready to buy. So below the audience, you'll find some people that says, you know what, I'm in too much pain. I don't like the way I look. I've been like this for the last 20 years and I don't want to look like this anymore. You know, I want to get my life back. I want to get my energy back. I want to feel great about myself. I want to look great in my clothes. So I'm going to take action and I'm going to lose the weight. That's your ideal client. The people that are fed up enough of being in the position that they're in. So that is your ideal client. And you today, as an individual on this webinar, you are someone's ideal client because recently you would have made a purchase and you were that person's ideal client because you were in enough pain to want to make the purchase. You'd had enough. You needed to get the thing done right now and sorted. So you went and bought whatever it was that you had to buy, whether it was the car, the house, the holiday, the bike, whatever it was. So Margaret's saying she's at the threshold. So let me see what Amit is saying. So I downloaded DuckDuckGo web browser. I have no idea what that is, Amit. And you can sign up to block tracking and they do it online and all your apps. I have no idea what that is. I didn't know if a company sends an image, they put tracking on them. Some companies do. Some companies can track whatever they want to track. So you've got to be very careful. So your target audience is going to be very different to your ideal clients. You know, the other day, because on the webinar, someone said to me, because when I explained it the way that I've just explained to you, people got it, they understood it. Let me know if you've understood it, or maybe if I need to explain it in a different way. But I remember a gentleman came on and he said to me, you know, I can't remember what he said he was selling, but whatever he was selling, he said that people would ring him, make inquiries about the product. He would tell them the price and everything, take their names, take their emails and everything. And then they would turn around and say, oh, I've changed my mind. I don't want it anymore. And he couldn't understand why people were doing that. And I said to him, the reason why people were doing that was because they weren't your ideal clients. These are the people that are in your target audience. Your target audience are people that are interested in what you have to sell, but they are not buyers. They're just interested. So that's the target audience is they have a collective interest in whatever it is that you're selling. So that they may be interested in food, they may be interested in travel, they may be interested in weight loss, they may be interested in plumbing, or they may be interested in shoes, or you know, they may be interested in beauty. That's just the interest. It doesn't mean that they're going to go and spend money and buy, you know, the products or whatever it is that you're selling. They're just interested. So interested people will never be serious people. They're just interested. They're not in enough pain to become ideal clients. Ideal clients are the ones that are in pain. Ideal clients are the ones that says, I've had enough. I want to get out of this. Just like that man that I shared with you that said his ADHD was driving him crazy. He would be, my client's ideal client, because he had got to the point where it was beginning to affect his work as a solicitor. So it was driving him crazy and he needs help. That's why I put it online. He was really screaming out for help. And she's got all the tools and the expertise to be able to help that person. So if people come to, make inquiries, it doesn't mean they're going to buy. Your ideal clients have got the money right now to be able to buy immediately. They don't need to shop around. They've already made a decision. They've already checked you out on social media. They've already checked out your website. They're now ready to buy. They've checked you out. They know who you are, what you stand for. Your website has spoken to them because it's an amplification of your voice. So they're now ready to part with their cash. Those are your ideal clients. So you need to find out what keeps them up at night. You need to find out what they talk about, what kind of verbiage they use. And you might say to me, dear God, Carol, how can I find out what keeps them up at night when I don't live with them? Is anybody thinking that? Let me know if anyone's thinking that. Anybody thinking that? Magda is saying yes. Okay, thank you so much for your honesty, Magda. Well, let me tell you how you can find out. You can get into groups with where they are. Your ideal clients are in millions of Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups out there online in the online space. And you can get into groups with where they are. Simona's saying, yes, never easy. I'm not sure what's never easy, but you can get into groups with where they are. And it's very easy to join the groups with where your ideal clients are. And what will happen is you will see a whole load of people that could potentially be your ideal client who are complaining. I don't like this. I don't like that. I bought this and I wasn't happy with it. I was told this and I disagree. They complain non-stop. Why are they complaining? Because they're frustrated. They're in pain. They've been in pain a long time. When I say in pain, I don't necessarily mean physical pain. It could be physical for some people, but I'm talking about they've had enough. They're now ready to make the change, to do something, to get out of the position or the situation that they're in. That's what I mean by when I say in pain. For some of them, it could be physical pain. It could be that they've got too much weight on them and that's creating all the pain in their body. For others, it could be mental pain. They're going through the torture of watching a loved one going through a situation, and it's not torturing just the loved one, but they're going through the pain as well. So it could be mental pain. It could be emotional pain, psychological pain. So they're in some kind of pain and they need you to help them to get the results that they need to get out of the pain. So Lizzie says, great explanation. I was not looking at the difference between target audience and ideal clients. I was treating them as the same. Well, I'm glad that penny's kind of dropped, Lizzie, because oftentimes people don't understand why the people within the target audience will often waste your time. They'll come, I'm sure you see it in supermarkets and you see it in shops. They'll go in a shop, they will what you call buy with their eyes. They will look at everything and they're interested in a lot of things in the shop, and then they walk out and buy nothing. Why? Because they've just come eye shopping. They're only the target audience that's interested in the clothes and the whatever else is in there. It doesn't mean they're going to buy. Now, the ones that you see at the till that are purchasing, that's the shop's ideal clients. So that's how it works. So Simona is saying, I see that many Facebook groups don't let you contact people and offer them your products and services. Even after a long time you've been a member, it's a long process, even. I disagree, Simona, because I'm in over 120 Facebook groups, and I can tell you the groups that I am in, they have days when you can post whatever it is that you want to post, whether you're going to post what you have to sell or post to ask a question. They have days when you can do it. So there are some admins that will tell you that you can't post on a day that you want to post. And I have seen, where people have posted and they've had their posts deleted because that wasn't the day for posting. You've got to respect their rules and their policies within the group. So, you've got to just follow what it is. But honestly, there's a lot of groups online that allows you to post. I mean, over 120 of them. Remember, there's over 3 billion people on Facebook. So if there's 3 billion people on Facebook, imagine how many of them have got pages and groups. Imagine how many. There's 3 billion. So there must be millions of groups and millions of pages. So, there's millions of people on there. You've just got to find the groups that you can go into that allows you to post. And normally in their terms and conditions, they have a little bit of a write-up about the group. That's their terms and conditions. It does tell you, it's because I'm online every single day, Neva. I'm online every day. Remember, I've ran my businesses online for many years. So I am going to get into these groups, and I'm probably going to join a few more as well. So, but with me these days, I'll be honest, I only join groups now that I believe can add value to whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm not just going to join a group for the sake of joining it. I remember I was in a group that had over 30,000 people in it, and there was hardly any interaction in that group. It was so boring, and that in that group, they allowed you to post. You could post whatever you wanted to post. I think it was 2 times a week. And it was so boring. There was no one was talking to each other. Not many people wanted to post. Over 30,000 people was in this group. And I decided that I was going to come at it, just had no interaction. So you can be in a group that's not got the right ideal clients in it, and hardly anybody's interacting, and that it can be large groups. But then on the other hand, you can be in a group that has 1,000 people in it, and the people are on fire in that group because they are the right audience group, and the right ideal clients are in there that are reacting to whatever that admin's posting. So you've got to get into groups that allows you to post, not groups that don't. So look at the things that the people are saying. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm going to a wedding and I've been trying for the last 6 months, and I took that supplement and I took this supplement and it's a little bit slow. I'm not really happy with my progress. Right now I'm in two lifestyle groups. 2 lifestyle groups I'm in right now. They're groups to do with healthy eating and all of that. And all you ever see in these groups is the women complaining. They'll complain, I know that we had to make this dish, but it's a little bit too spicy. Does anybody else find that it's too spicy? Does anybody find that there's too much chocolate on this dish? I don't really like that much chocolate. What other alternative can I use? And I'm reading these posts and I'm thinking, my goodness, because the person because they're all paid, they're paid membership groups. I'm in quite a few paid membership groups. And I'm thinking, dear God, the person who created this group sends out a lot of information. All they need to do is go and read the information. But they're in the groups, even in the paid groups, they're complaining. all they do is just complain all day. So, you're going to find them all the time. So Simona says, anyway, this social listening requires a lot of time for a one-man stroke woman band having to do all the work. It does. And this is why you can actually, you can be strategic. You don't need to be on there every day. You can go in for 30 minutes and do what you need to do on social media for 30 minutes and then come off. Or you can hire a VA from the Philippines that can do it for you. There's lots of great people that people do hire from the Philippines, and they do great work, and they're fairly cheap because the minimum wage in the Philippines is much lower than the minimum wage here in the UK. So I don't know what it is in the UK. Is it about £11.20 or something like that? And you can pay them even less than that because their minimum wage is much lower than ours. And if you pay them just above their own minimum wage, they think it's still a really great deal for them. So, but that's the difference between your target audience and your ideal clients. So there are regulations that you need to follow if you're working online. One of them, as I said earlier on, was the GDPR. You've got to make sure you have all the right insurances in place and so on. So V is saying how to find these Philippine skilled people. Join some entrepreneurial groups. Join some groups where there's thousands of entrepreneurs in there, and these groups give you the opportunity to make a post. You can post and ask for a virtual assistant that can do something like your copywriting or the scheduling of your posts or internet marketing or Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is that you want them to do. And, people will respond to your post. So with the distance selling regulations, the Distance Selling Regulations Act was about for quite a long time, but then they changed it and now it's called the Consumer Contracts Regulation Act. And that came into place here in the UK in 2014. That came into play. You can find them in its groups, and its groups on Facebook. So that came into place in 2014. So this regulation actually applies now to buying online. That's what it does. So Nave is saying, do the GDPR compliance measures cover VA outside the UK? Right, let me read that again. Does the GDPR compliance measures cover virtual assistants outside of the UK? The GDPR will be compliant to your business. So if your business is online, then you are going to be operating outside of the country that you live in, because you'll most probably be selling to other people across the world. So it's not to do with VAs. Once you're online and you're taking data, that's what it covers. So it has nothing to do with a virtual assistant or anything like that. So the online selling regulation, so if you're buying products or services from supplier without face-to-face and it's all online, you need to make sure that you follow these regulations. Every country will have their own regulations. Anything that you purchase online, they have got to allow you to return goods if you are not happy. Yesterday I was online, and tonight I plan to make a very big purchase from several websites online tonight. And one of the sites that I'm going to be purchasing from allows you to have the products for 45 days before you can return them. And every single website has got their own privacy policy terms and conditions, and refund policy as well. So I always like to know what the policies are beforehand. They have all of that on the website. So if you're selling and using your website to do that online, you should actually have something that people can see. So Margaret says, how does that work if you are talking therapy like me and you have delivered your session? What do you mean, Margaret? Margaret, remind me of what you do again. I'm not sure that I understand what you mean. How does what work? So Facebook, why use it? This is the reason why you use it. One of the things that I will say to you about social media, whatever you put on social media, make sure it's something that you really want to be there. Because if you put it on and then you delete it, it doesn't get deleted in the algorithm. The algorithm can still store it. You know, I've deleted a particular page many times. Well, I thought I deleted it. And for about 2 years, that page just kept popping back up. I couldn't understand it. You know, I didn't understand it, but it did. So Margaret is saying, oh, so you sell hypnotherapy? Right. So hypnotherapy, and I'm talking about the ability to return an item within a specified time, if not happy. What you well with hypnotherapy, I would imagine it's a service that you're offering. So if people have already engaged in the services, and that's part of the moment they engage in, I mean, I'm assuming that you've got some packages that you're offering. So the moment that they start to engage in your packages, then that would be, as far as I'm concerned, I would consider that to be non-refundable because they've already started the service that you're offering. And if hypnotherapy is the service, then you know, you would need to put in your terms and your conditions that once the service has already started, then it's going to be non-refundable. If it's a product, it's different. So Claire says they are paying for your time. Yeah. So if it starts and they've already, you know, if the service has already started, you know, then you wouldn't be giving them the money back. So that would have to be in your terms and conditions. So Facebook, it's quite a valuable social media platform to be on. A lot of people don't like it, but remember, there's over 3 billion people on it. So 3 billion people like it enough to be on it. But you've just got to make sure that whatever you put on there is what you want to be on there. You know, Facebook can allow it can allow you to have groups. You know, you can sell to groups. I've had groups on Facebook and sold to groups and made money out of groups. You know, so it's groups that have got the same interest as you. The groups that I formed on Facebook were educational groups. There were people with educators in them, you know, educators, admins, people, teachers, people like that. So, you know, I created programs and courses that I sold to them. So, you know, you can boost your posts, but I'll be honest, boosting the post doesn't have the same impact as if you set up a paid advert. Boosting the post has got limitations. Paid adverts don't. So just bear that in mind. So, you know, but Facebook has got some great, you know, assets to it that people love, but there's a lot of things on Facebook that people don't like and can be quite toxic. So you've just got to be careful when you go on there, go on with a strategic approach. So things you should do on the platform. Here's a list of different things that you can do on the platform. You know, always, I would say don't put your personal address, hire a business address that you can use, and that will work. You know, link your Facebook to your website. You can actually put reviews on your Facebook page. So that's a great idea because people can see the validity and the authenticity behind your business. And, you know, there's lots of things you can do to reach out to friends and family and so on. So let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn. Has anyone here got a LinkedIn profile? So LinkedIn itself, I always say that there is gold on LinkedIn. You know, because are you active on the page? So Magda says yes, Claire says yes, a business page. V says yes, Simona yes, Mark yes, Margaret yes, Neva yes. Are you has anyone here got over 500 people on their page? Because you only need 300 people to run an advert on LinkedIn in order for an advert to have an impact. You know, I've spoken to people that didn't really have many people on their LinkedIn page and they ran an advert and couldn't understand why it didn't work. So LinkedIn is great for business to business. It's great for business to consumer. It's got some great job boards if you're looking for jobs or if you're looking for specific types of people to carry out work for you. LinkedIn is the place to go. So you can have a LinkedIn personal or a LinkedIn business page. So Lizzie says, I'm active. Who's that? Magda says, I'm active, but I'm working on my social media pages. So Claire says, yes, yes, I do. Right. Neva says, I'm active personally, but not as a business, have 68 contacts. Okay. So Lizzie says, if you have more than 300, are those adverts free? No, you've got to pay for them. But you get a better reach with 300 people plus than you do with less than that. So you can decide personal pages. It's better to have a very interactive and busy personal page, more so because when you have a business page, you've got to really work very hard to get all the right people into your business page, onto your business page. But you might already have them on your personal page. It's just a matter of weeding them out and then directing them to your business page. And one of the things that I love about LinkedIn is the fact that you can create a great URL. And, you know, you can put that URL anywhere on your website, anywhere on your social media pages, and people can just click once and go straight in and look at everything that you state about yourself on LinkedIn. So Claire says, I find the business page is slow. It is, but the personal page is far more active. I agree, because the people who are on the business page, you've got to work harder to keep them very interested and very interactive in what's going on. So, you know, it's a bit more work. But when you've got a URL, you can end up, you know, creating a really, really good profile for yourself when you've got a URL. It's a good idea when you're on LinkedIn to get people to endorse you. That way, you know, it professionalizes and makes you look like you're really, really outstanding in what you do. So think about that for your business. There are LinkedIn groups. I think the LinkedIn groups are less interactive than the Facebook groups. I think the Facebook groups are a lot more sociable and they're a lot more pleasant to be in. LinkedIn groups are a lot more formal, and you really do need to think about the kind of things that you say in the groups before you speak. So Amit is saying, are your personal contacts on your business one, or you have to start again? Let me read that again, Amit. Are your personal contacts on your business on your business one, or you have to start again. Right. On your business profile, you will have a lot of people in there that you've connected with that's interested in the services that you have to offer. So if you've got a lot of people on your personal and you're planning to set up something to do with your business on LinkedIn, you will find setting up a page for your business, you're going to have to work much harder in trying to persuade people to come across to that page than if you were inviting them to connect with you on your personal profile. So anyone that you invite is going to go and have a look at your personal profile anyway. So Claire says, I used to think LinkedIn was for super business peeps only, but I am on there, so it isn't anymore. No, it's for anybody. So Amit says, not used a business one before. To be honest with you, Amit, I would build your personal profile, work that, invite lots of people that are into the kind of services that you offer, and I would focus on that before you even think about building a business one. And on LinkedIn as well, remember, it's all about the hashtags. So on your LinkedIn, you can share your content. You can, a code of ethics on LinkedIn. Whenever you create a post, never put the link above the post. Always put the link in where people respond in the chat. That's where you put the link. So if you're saying to people, click on this link, put it in the chat, that is the code of ethics on LinkedIn. If you're into writing articles, LinkedIn is the place to do it, because lots of people over there love to read and love articles. So it's a great place to showcase blogs and articles and write about interesting topics. You could have a series of topics that you're going to talk about and put that under one heading. So let's just say you're going to talk about weight loss. You could talk about mindset. You could talk about the emotional withdrawal of certain foods. You could talk about exercise. You could talk about stamina, and all of these things all linked and are all part and parcel of weight loss. So Amit says, how many contacts is a good number? Anything go for 500. So let's talk a little bit about Instagram. I love Instagram. I absolutely love the Instagram reels. They are normally up for 24 hours. So if you've got something that you want to promote that's punchy and catchy and that's going to grab people's attention quick, put it in the Instagram reels or the Instagram stories. It's up there for a while. So just make sure that you do use your hashtags on Instagram. Again, you're hashtagging keywords, words that a lot of clients tend to use. Again, it's knowing and understanding your ideal clients. Decide on the best time and the frequency on which you post on Instagram. So if you've got an Instagram business page, Facebook owns Instagram and they will tell you when is the best time to post. Because you will see how many people react to your posts in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. If there's more people in the morning, that's the best time to post. If there's more people at the weekend, that's the best time to post. So for Twitter, again, you've got to use the hashtags. And with Twitter, Twitter has recently been resold by the guy who previously owned it, called Elon Musk. He sold it. Twitter is for people that are very opinionated. They've got a lot to say. They've got a lot of questions to ask. They like to state the facts on certain things. They like to debate. If you've got clients that are like that, then Twitter is the best place for you to be. So, it depends on what the nature of your business is, because some people have got clients that are like that and they're over on Twitter and doing very, very well. So there is a tone of frequency to how you tweet. Twitter will only allow you to use 280 characters. So whatever you've got to tweet on needs to be specific and to the point. because once you've got your 280, they don't allow you to go over that. So you've got a hashtag, and again, you're hashtagging for specific keywords or phrases. So again, it's using your keyword tracker to find out, what the popular keywords or phrases are, so that you know what you're going to put on Twitter or Instagram when you go on. So this is the Wenta business page for Twitter. So we've got more than these amount of following now, but this is what the interface looks like. It's very professional, very clean. I'll be honest, Twitter's not for everybody. It's for some, but only go there if that's where you believe your ideal clients are. So I'll just give you an opportunity just to read this bit of information here. So you can use a list to see what your competition's doing without having to follow them. Twitter is something, I like Twitter, but I'll be honest with you, my favorite is this one. This is my favorite. So I'm on YouTube, more or less every single day. And with YouTube, you can start a channel. I had a friend who was showing people how to put different types of plants and things into soils, and she built that channel up to over 20,000 people, making a great passive income from it every single month. Now she's decided to become a real estate agent. She was a teacher. She's now decided to become a real estate agent, and she's doing very well because those 20-odd thousand people are now buying houses from her. Excuse me. So this is the Wenta interface for YouTube. If you go on our YouTube channel now, you will see that we have got quite a lot of videos now that are short. They get to the point, they're 20 minutes long, and they can help you to get a quick win on certain things that you need to know fairly quickly. So they're not as detailed as these webinars. And love YouTube, because with YouTube, all you need is 1,000 subscribers, and you need a few hundred people just to watch your content over 4,000 hours, and YouTube will start to pay you for any content that an advert sits under, and people get to watch the advert. So it's a great way of how to showcase anything that you want to show people how to do. So most of the videos there are all how to, or it's people showcasing their lives and things like that. So I absolutely love YouTube. I love listening to music over there. I love to see what's going on. I follow 2 influencers over there, so I enjoy being over there. And I love the platform. It's got a very comfortable feel to it. So I want to take this time out now to say thank you very, very much for giving up the time to be here. Lizzie, thank you. I know, what time is it there now? Because you came on at 5:30 a.m. Is it about 8:30 a.m. now? So thank you so much for being here today. I hope that, you have got and gleaned a lot of information from this, and you can see now how you can take the information and actually put it into practice. So Magda says, thank you for all this precious information. You're so welcome, Magda. Lizzie says, it's time to have an English breakfast. Well, we welcome you here in the UK, Lizzie. It would be lovely to have breakfast with you any day. Mina says, thank you. Oh, hello, Mina. And thank you for being here. Claire says, many thanks, Carol. You're so welcome. Amit says, thank you, Carol. You're very welcome, Amit. And Amit, I enjoy seeing you on my webinars as well. So Simona says, thank you so much, Carol. So informative and friendly. Margaret says, thank you, Carol. You're so welcome. V says, thank you. You're welcome, V. Lizzie says, beans and eggs. Well, here in the UK, Lizzie, they ask you, do you want it runny or do you want it fried? So I don't really know how they do it in the US. When I was in Florida, it was fried. So I don't know. So Lizzie says, I lived in Bournemouth for 8 months and loved it. Wow, that's down by the seaside. It is beautiful, yes. Neva says, very clear and understandable webinar. Thanks so much, Carol. You're so welcome, Neva. You're very welcome. Claire says, take care and thank you to each one of you. And let me just give you this particular slide. If you could get your mobile phones out and just click on this particular QR code, it'll bring up the survey, and then you can, say how you felt about today's webinar. But I want to take this time out. If you would like to book an appointment with me to go through your business, then let me just put that number in the chat now where you can reach out to us. So you can reach out to us here, info@wenta.co.uk, or you can call 01438 310020. So these are the numbers that you can contact the business advisory team on and reach out to book an appointment with me so I can do a deep dive in your business. Okay, so again, have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you all on the next webinar. Look out for your certificates in about 2.5 weeks. You will get a copy of these PowerPoint presentation slides, as well as a copy of this webinar, and it's all free. So Margaret says, where are the numbers not showing? Margaret, it's right above you, 01438 310020. Okay. Lizzie says, thank you all. And look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Take care.